Biden's recent cancer diagnosis should remind all liberal women to get their yearly prostate exams.
Yeah. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Grumpy Old Soldiers.
What's going on, Nick?
Oh, Eric's here too. Cool. Hey, Nick and Brian and Devin and Six Pack. Oh, that's Nick.
I already said hi to Devin.
And Cheryl.
Hi, Ron. I can hear him watching in the other room.
So
Dave's not here, man.
No, Dave's not here, man.
Dave's not here, man.
There he is. Yeah, he is.
Oh, Dave's here, man.
There's Ron Jeremy.
I just proved y'all wrong. Okay.
Oh, man. What's this shit in Paris now?
I don't know what's going on in Paris.
It's then they founded Paris, and it was just a shithole ever since. Oh, recent stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it's still a shithole, but it's on fire.
Over at Champs-Élysées, however you say it.
Arrivederci.
Well, they've been getting pretty passionate in France.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, right or wrong, both sides. I mean, they're getting pretty passionate about their
Well, the French people are starting to get a little backbone going.
Good.
They're tired of the illegals burning up their towns.
Good.
It said that Germany was also, that was going on.
Yep. UK's not too happy about it either.
I don't know what's so hard with the notion of go where you belong. There's right ways and wrong ways to do it. If I wanted to move to Australia, there's a right way to do it. It's possible for me to go through the channels and move to Australia. Mm-hmm. You can do that to America too. You know, there are ways. You just don't walk in and get money.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's so hard to figure out. I mean, how does that compute as right in your head?
Dude, when you find out what it's all about, it comes down to a fucking sickening, disgusting ideology of wiping out one particular race.
Oh, man.
Oh, yep, one particular group.
It's only like 1.4% of the population of the earth.
Yep.
Oh, we started talking about thinking stuff and Dylan runs away.
No, shut your mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, he wants us to believe that he's going to the door.
Oh, man. They did a study on mental health, and they compared it. They split the group between liberals and conservatives. The liberals were the ones that were more likely to be mentally ill.
Yeah, they cop to it more often.
But all joking aside, and it's a sad fact, who's more easily led?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to belittle anybody's situation because mental illness is a real thing.
Yeah.
I get it.
But Jim,
it's
when I was
easy to manipulate.
Yeah, but when I was growing up, man, it used to be one of those things people didn't talk about when their relation had a mental disorder.
True.
And now it's like, hey, you know, I'm neurodivergent.
Yeah.
And pansexual, you're retarded and gay.
He's just touched. That's all. That's all how we used to say. And depending on how you acted, depending on how we treated you.
Yeah.
We didn't treat you different. I mean, that's why I'm so callous about it and so crass, because I really don't see it. You know, everybody's just different to me, and people with mental illness are just a little more different.
Yeah. We all have things we need to deal with.
Hey, Marcus.
Hey, Marcus.
Hey, Marcus.
But yeah, when I worked at Walmart, I was the handler. I took care of the special needs employees.
Oh.
So I got to work with them, and I have great respect.
You told me they gave you that job because you was special.
Well, yeah, I was special. They tried to make me Santa Claus. Do you know how many kids I scarred? They did. Don't. And you know who they replaced me with? A guy in a wheelchair with cerebral palsy.
Oh, wow.
No, I swear to God, you can't make this shit up.
I'm sorry. Can we change the subject?
Yeah.
Yep, I have nothing against the handicap. Just there's certain things I'm not going to do.
Yeah.
No, playing Santa can try to be nice. It doesn't work out. Don't do it.
That kind of inclusion is damaging.
See, here's how I look at it. If I have a disability, which I do, that's beside the point. But if my work can't accommodate me, and they shouldn't have to, it shouldn't be too difficult. I mean, you know, if I was...
Well, to a point. No, I get what you're saying, Chuck, but to a point. Because you should be accommodated for.
Yeah.
You need a ramp, you get a ramp. You need...
Yeah.
Well, can we make this phone not ring that tone or something like that? I get that.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm sorry.
The rest of it is that if I can't get myself to adapt to the accommodations available, then I can't work there. And it turned out I couldn't work anywhere.
Yeah, but you got the common sense. Oh, sorry, JJ.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, it comes down to you don't want a server out there on the floor in a wheelchair. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't want the guy behind the counter have 10 tons of metal in his face and a sticker on his forehead.
That's unsanitary.
If that's the choice you want to make, there's certain things you're not going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trust us. We know.
Chuck doesn't have a choice. I don't have a choice. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They have a choice. You don't have to make them earlobes, as big as a 15-inch tire.
Yeah.
Big brother, it's the same thing when they stick those gauges in the fucking bottom lip too.
Oh, trust me, my daughter was one of them. I stopped her at whatever that size is. But
I bet she's thankful for that.
Well, she will be if she ain't. She's 30 now. Now things look different.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, but then, guys, there is Dylan.
Shut their mouth.
Speaking of which, how you doing tonight, Dylan?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
Help my father out and everything else.
Okay.
Taking care of him. Even though he's like some of the soldiers shit on the panel, he's a grumpy old fucker.
Yeah.
But besides that, JC, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing all right. Been better, been worse. But enjoying the cool weather in Oklahoma for June.
Yeah, thanks. You can have your heat back.
Hey.
Hey, I don't want to hog it all. I know how you like it. Well, give it to Chuck. Chuck don't care. He's a
Yeah, he needs it.
I mean, at what point do you notice it getting hotter? I mean, after a certain point, does it matter if it's 120 or 130?
No.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter. You're not going outside anyway.
Yeah, you hit 100 and you're working, and everything else is just a number.
I can remember 80, 90 degrees. That's our average hot summer is 80, 90 degrees average. It does get 100 once in a great while.
Yeah.
But 80 degrees, Farmer Brown don't care. You go get that hay out of the field.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, when my family moved to Texas almost 200 years ago, it didn't get above 90 degrees here. We had something what they called a mini ice age going on.
Yeah.
I think that's right. And
You know what I like
they
to
were
call
having they were having fairs over on the Thames,
on the Thames,
out on the ice.
the ice was that thick on the Thames.
I just call it nature's cycle. I mean,
Yeah,
It's your menstrual cycle.
yeah, you could call it that.
Like 1800 and froze to death.
but shit changes.
Right after the mini ice age started was when the Vikings decided to get out of Greenland.
Yep. And that's when they started growing the better grapes, and there were a lot more vineyards all over Europe, and made it down to the southern part of France.
Yep. So how are you doing tonight, Jim?
I'm doing all right.
Cool.
Yeah, I haven't had to swear at nobody. No stabbings, no. Yeah.
And then you saw Dylan.
But then I saw Dylan, yeah.
Yeah, and the night's still early.
How about you, Chuck? How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fine. We're having nice, cool weather here. It only got up to 85 today. But we did actually get some rain this morning a few times today. I don't care. I was inside, so it didn't bother me. If I didn't lose my
Oh,
internet...
she did
I'm
that
fine.
too. She took him out though.
Yeah.
Oh, I was talking to Nick, sorry.
Oh, yeah. They didn't have electric boats back then.
That is true.
Yeah. Oh, Nick, the shower's awesome. It's like the second coolest shower we ever had. The place we lived before this, the master bathroom, my wife, she had gotten the place from her mom. She wanted to make a big change to make it more comfortable for us. She had somebody come in and rip the shower out and put a all new tile and shit in the shower. That shower was like 5 feet across and 5 feet deep.
It was a communal shower.
It could have been. Really could have been.
Just,
It's the only shower she and I would have fit in at the same time.
I've seen videos. Not yours in particular.
Yeah, if they had put a swing in there.
No, I was going to say you need a swing or a bench because at our age, shower 6 is deadly.
It is.
And don't forget the pole.
And the pole.
No, poles are deadly. And baby oil. Forget the baby oil.
Oh, yeah.
No baby oil in the bathroom tub.
Yeah.
Oh, baby oil.
Oh, my goodness. That's true, Nick. Nothing wrong with showering your partner.
Me and the old lady was sitting there the other night. She says, "You want to go upstairs and make love?" And I said, "Pick one. We can't do both."
Yeah. So, JT, what are you vaping on tonight, man?
Oh, let's see. We'll start off. We're vaping on the Caliburn again.
No way.
The RY4 in there. A little bit. Intake MTL on top of the Lima from my brother George and my other brother Bobby. Here's to you guys. But you got to make it work first. From there, we jump over to a George-like setup. The Gower with the bulk on top being all matchy-matchy. Inside there, we've got the, what is it? Grape Nomenon Ice. These fruit flavors are getting to me. I can taste them, and I actually enjoy them.
Yeah.
Now we're to the Pulse with the recoil on top. A recurve recoil. And that's got the pineapple still. God, mine pretty. The whole QICK. And we're running the Voltrove in it, and we got the Fruit Monster berry, mixed berries. Oh, I like that. Tasty. And last but not least, the Aries 2 on top of the Thelema. And what are you vaping on, Dylan?
That's simple. Got the
Okay, what are you vaping on, Jim?
Shut your mouth. Got the Vicious Avadar with the 6 AIO. Got the .mod.AIO V2. And this is juice made by Brett's orange juice. And this one it's a key lime cookie made by Brian. And got my my daily driver, the billet box with the wicked alpha. That has, let me see, banana peanut butter coconut by Brian. And then my Harpy Slim with the ether, that also has Mr. Dread in that. Big brother, what are we vaping on?
Wow, that's kind of a hard act to follow. Well, up with my brother George, I've got the GT5 on top of the Therion, because I've always got the Blaze on top of the Gua, and I've been really overworking the sand, but that's about it for me. How about you, Mr. Potentate?
I've got the Cthulhu.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. With the Cthulhu Kate RBA section in it.
The
Oh
blessing.
my God, he's possessed.
I got Starburst in it, and I've got banana apple mango on the Ponte.
Oh, that sounds good.
It is.
That really does. That really does sound good.
Different kinds of twang all together. And that's Stubby 21. That's all I'm really vaping on right now.
Oh, cool. So whatever happened to that jalapeno apple you made?
I lost interest.
It didn't work? Okay. No, because that kind of piqued my interest when you mentioned it.
Mm-hmm. That
was I never thought about it again. Yeah, but I never thought about it again until just now when I said, "Oh, that sounds good," and then all of a sudden that Texas apple you made, I remember because I've been very interested in trying a spicy vape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to try to finish it because I was mixing double apple with jalapeno. Jalapeno's by TFA, I think.
Yeah, no, I've been interested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't. I just mixed the two together, and suddenly I got. Then we started doing the show, and I forgot all about it.
Yeah. But I could also see maybe doing that in a chocolate or something.
Ooh,
yes.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be a jalapeno caramel. No.
Yeah. Not like the idiot that did the Reaper, but I think we all saw that video.
No, I think jalapeno.
Oh, he seeped Reapers.
Yeah.
And VG and vaped it. Oh.
Jeez.
And then he snorted it.
Yeah, if I sit down and try to make that flavor again, I might also be interested in doing something with bacon flavor.
I have only seen a couple of reviews on bacon, and none of them were good. So.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, when I was on
it would be a bacon pancake.
Yeah, when I was
maple.
Chuck, when I was
little maple in it.
Stream on a Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about bacon flavored e-juice and stuff like that, and Mark commented, he's like, bacon flavored glazed donut.
Ooh, that sounds good too.
Yeah.
It actually does.
See, that's why I was thinking bacon itself, you can't picture vaping bacon, but actually it does have a ring to it.
Vaping bacon? Or isn't that guy
bacon.
from Chicago that makes some bad videos?
But and I was gonna start streaming games, and this Mark actually said for budget conscious, this is the best thing to use. Problem is, this takes the video out of the computer and turns it into a USB signal and sends it into the other computer so I can stream it. But it's not USB though; it's Thunderbolt. That's a whole different animal.
That's a whole different ballgame if you're using Thunderbolt.
Yeah, so I've got something on the way that'll handle a Thunderbolt signal, and then I get to find out if this thing actually works.
So you need a converter for a converter.
I think Chuck, I think all Thunderbolts are like USB Type C if I'm correct.
Yeah, for
My computer's
Thunderbolt
the same
2,
way.
3, and 4.
My computer's the same way. 4 Thunderbolt USB-C hole ports. I can't even stick a flash drive in my computer at all.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fucking Apple, man. They're assholes when
Apple.
it comes to
They're converting.
peripherals.
Fuck, they converted all their stuff to freaking USB Type C.
Yeah, finally.
Their iPhones, iPads, computers, every single thing, and they just converted their headphones to USB-C.
No. Yeah. USB-C. Yep. I can't wait to get rid of this Apple thing. But after I do that, I'll put a link down underneath where people can find me streaming games. If anybody actually wants to see that.
What kind of games you gonna play?
World of Warcraft.
Okay.
It's the only game I've been playing for the last 20 years. 21 years.
You're going to leave your clothes on, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna
I
do
was
it
thinking
while
Topless Tuesday.
Well, sign me up then.
for Chuck and Jim. When I do my show on Friday, I'll link both of you guys' channels in the description box for people to check you guys out and subscribe.
Thank you. Oh man, damaging poll about Democrats. I can't remember. I wish I'd written something down about it because I don't remember. I don't remember what that was about.
All right, so in this video, we have breaking news out of Boulder, Colorado. A terror attack has taken place.
Oh, yeah.
Also, Elon Musk sat down for an interview with CBS Morning, and you got to hear what he had to say. And finally, Democrats have been hit with another devastating poll.
How Americans sort of see the
Yeah,
parties.
watch
Which
this one.
party is better described as the party with strong leaders? Look at this.
Wow.
16% of Americans say Democrats, 40% say that of the Republican Party. Now, overall, no party's doing great. Lots of Americans say neither of these qualities apply to either party. But look at how much worse off the Democrats are. A party that gets things done. Only 19% of Americans say that about the Democrats, 36%.
The thing about strong leaders, it reminds me of the last president and vice president we had in office. They, compared to Trump, they're wet toilet paper.
Used wet toilet paper.
Chuck, my father just screamed from the other room that we're frozen. Hippie just posted in the chat saying that we froze.
Oh my God.
And
Okay.
then Marcus asked, "Where's the video?"
Okay. Sorry, I forgot to click the button. Now it's working. Let me try that again.
All right, so in this video, we have breaking on Musk.
The parties. Which party is better described
Thanks.
as the party with strong leaders? Look at this.
Wow.
16% of Americans say Democrats, 40% say that of the Republican Party. Now, overall, no party's doing great. Lots of Americans say neither of these qualities apply to either party. But look at how much worse off the Democrats are. A party that gets things done. Only 19% of Americans say that about the Democrats. 36% say it about the Republicans. In fact, the only place that the Democrats are numerically ahead, party of the middle class, this is basically a tie, though.
Yeah.
34% say that of Democrats, 32% say that of Republicans. But this, I think, is the most fascinating. How do partisans
Look
talk
at
about
those
their
numbers.
own party?
Yeah.
So among Democrats and Democratic leaners, 32% say Democrats are the party with strong leaders. I mean, of their own kind, right? 82% of Republican leaders say that about the GOP. Only 41% of Democrats say they're the party that gets things done of their own kind. And I will just say, 51%, Manu, a majority of Democratic and Democratic leaners say neither party gets the party that gets things done attribute. Imagine that is the whole...
Yeah, I suppose that's because the Democrats don't get anything done, and the Republicans aren't going to get anything done that the Democrats like.
What, you mean like setting cities on fire and shit doesn't get anything done?
No.
Oh.
That's the project the Democrats are working on.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's no shock to you or me. That's to be expected. Okay, I'd actually believe that those numbers.
Anyway, that's the part I wanted to see. That's not a surprise. Really.
That's not.
not.
That's not.
Really.
That's not.
not.
They've done it to themselves, and it's only going to get worse before it gets better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the problem is it's going to get worse for them, not us.
Yeah.
Well, they always try to take it out on us.
Yeah, well, they can try, but the jig's up.
Yeah.
Anybody that's anybody knows.
Hey, I really do think.
What, Dylan?
Here's what I realized, from that whole thing, and from what was mentioned about the Democrats are going to do stuff that the Republicans don't like, or vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
The Democrats wouldn't like it if freaking Republicans did anything the Democrats themselves wouldn't like.
Mm-hmm.
It goes the same thing if the roles were reversed. The Republicans wouldn't like it.
Right.
Oh no, the Democrats wouldn't like it if the Republicans lowered prices. Democrats wouldn't like it or not. What I'm trying to say is if Democrats raise the prices of anything, the Republicans wouldn't like it.
All right.
Same thing if the Republicans try to lower the prices for anything like that.
Yeah.
Or try to solve things like homeless, whatever. The Democrats wouldn't like that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what's going on is you're missing the big picture. The Democrats all work in cahoots together. They have one plan. Theirs is to take complete control, so there's only a one-party system, and it will be Democrats forever.
Actually, yeah, I don't know about that.
Oh, they've been trying. They just unleashed it after Obama was president.
Yeah.
And that's when the shit started going down the toilet.
Well, the Democrats kicked most of the Democrats out of the party.
Yeah, I think that was Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe it.
And I agree with what Brian just said. Both parties have lost touch with the average citizen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're not just the Republicans, all the fucking politicians have too much money and they don't have any idea what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck anymore.
Yeah, but you think they would have got a clue when it was John Fetterman that was the most sane voice of the party.
I know.
Yep.
Yep. Absolutely.
Now they're trying to say, oh, it's AOC and Jasmine Crockett. And the old dogs don't like that.
Yep. They're instead of them taking responsibility for themselves and their actions, they just want to sit there and find it easier just to point the finger at somebody else and blame that person or that specific party.
Yeah.
Well, it's because they've been spoon-fed the politics of envy for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And they finally think they're at a position where they can do it. Because, look, tell me this wasn't the Cloward Piven idea, to overload all the government entitlements. Have so many people taken out of it that there's not enough people putting any in to collapse the economy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why the economy's so screwed up the way it is now.
Yeah, that and the fact that they called a lot of businesses non-essential and they went out of business because of it.
That's right. Because everybody found out too late that little lumber shortage was just a test run. There was no shortage. They were throwing regulations at them, keeping them from moving that wood out of that area, just to see how people reacted to it.
Yeah, prices.
And to be honest with you, Chuck, that's the way I'm viewing everything. As one of the younger people on the panel and things like that.
Yeah. The
way I see it, this whole country's blaming everybody. The citizens are blaming the citizens. The society is blaming not only the society itself, but they're also blaming the government too for everything.
Well, I only blame the government for what they actually did or didn't do. One of the biggest problems, though, is that politicians are pitting their constituents against the other party. Both parties are doing it, but especially
that's it, and it's been that way.
Yeah.
We went from trying to work together, work through our differences, to my way or the highway.
Yeah.
And that's both sides. Nobody's right in this.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's not the right that goes automatically to the extremes. What was it? Chuck Schumer ran out there and said "we're all gonna die" act.
Yeah.
He's touched in the head.
I mean, that they go to the extreme on everything.
Yeah.
It wasn't the government supposed to originally listen to the society, which is like basically the citizens, like like us.
Yeah.
Or in chat.
It's
not
supposed to be
for us.
supposed to be by the people, of the people, and for the people.
And
We're not supposed to put on airs and parades. Military bases aren't supposed to shut down just because a senator's coming.
And that's the thing. Government's not listening to the people.
No.
Nothing. They just want the power all from themselves. They're basically saying, screw the citizens of the country at this point.
Yep.
We're just going to do what we want and take over.
They've already taken over.
Yeah.
We have never had a free day as an American citizen since 1873.
And that's where freaking after that year, that's where everything fucking went downhill. Everything.
That's what I just said.
I know, and I'm agreeing with you on that.
Don't you forget it.
Brian's worried that Vance may try a move on Trump under the 25th Amendment.
On what information do you get this idea?
Yeah, I'm curious. I just said I hope not.
I forgot they were talking about
He won't.
the 25th Amendment.
Let me take a look.
He's already had a cognitive test and aced it, so.
How do you spell amendment?
Yeah, but I like the little demand they made that he takes one. He should take one.
Yeah, exactly. Same ones that were saying that's the sharpest Joe Biden in all his 50 years.
Yeah, and Jake Tapper writes a book. He's been arguing against Biden's disability for so long, but now he's writing a book about the shit he should have told us about years ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
2 or 3 years ago. But he seriously, he had Laura Trump on his show one time, and he was telling her that Joe Biden is sharp. He's on top of it. He's firing on all cylinders.
Yep. That's what Clinton was saying.
Nope.
Oh, sharp as attack.
Sure. Yep.
I got some bad news about the a school shooting in San Antonio. Y'all probably heard about this. 'Cause I think it was a couple days ago, but
No, I hadn't heard about it yet.
the
I hadn't heard either.
The mom helped set it up. The mom helped.
Oh,
plan it.
maybe I did hear something.
Oh, is that woman with the tattoos on her face and
face,
shit?
yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Did that woman have like a weird looking tongue where she had to like split down the middle?
No, I don't know. I didn't see her open her mouth.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Tonight's top story, a mother and son arrested after investigators say the child was plotting to shoot up his middle school.
The mother is accused of supplying her son with ammo and tactical gear.
A middle school student facing terrorism-related charges, and he's not alone in this. His mom also facing charges. Police
What
say
the fuck do they mean by tactical gear? He's wearing camis?
Probably. It's
That
more
could
so.
be.
That's just clothes.
she helped him plan a possible attack.
Okay,
Camouflage
so
fatigues.
this mother of the year helped her son plan a mass shooting, and they got caught. Let's talk about it.
Jesus Christ.
This is Ashley Parado. She's a 33-year-old mother from San Antonio, Texas. Now, she was employed as a bartender at St. Mary's Strip. The bar's management has stated that she was terminated based on the charges that we'll talk about soon. Now, Pardo also has a 13-year-old son that goes to Rhodes Middle School in San Antonio. Now, Pardo is being charged with helping her son plan a mass shooting at his school. I know, this sounds crazy for me to even say it. All right, so here are the details of what happened. In January 2025, staff at Rhodes Middle School discovered some threatening drawings made by a 13-year-old student. Now, the drawings were detailed maps of the school. This also included escape routes and images of rifle and muzzle flashes with specific timestamps. And on one of the exit routes, it was labeled self-deletion route. Now, allegedly, school officials and police confront the boy, who explained that he has a fascination with past mass shootings and an interest in their manifestos. Now, because of this, the police department and Child Protective Services began monitoring the family and offering services to address this weird behavior. Now, the school actually had a conversation with this 13-year-old's mom, and here's what happened.
As officers and school officials met with the child's mother, Ashley Pardo, multiple times after, offering help and resources. But Pardo wasn't the least bit concerned with her son's behavior, even stating she supported it.
That's right. She told police she supported her son's...
She always makes the best choices.
...interesting behavior. Now, things got worse because in April, the school started seeing interesting things come up in the student's online activity from a computer he was using at school.
But according to police, months later, the boy was suspended for researching mass shootings on a school-issued computer.
As an example, they discovered that he was researching the March 2019 Christchurch mosque shooting in New Zealand. And along with that, he was also looking at things about self-harm. Now, after the revelations, the school suspended him. And later on that day, the 13-year-old attempted self-deletion. Now, because of the self-deletion attempt, he was hospitalized and placed in an alternative education program to continue his term of suspension. Now, on May 8th, 2025, a month later, he had served his suspension and was allowed to return to the middle school.
He did serve his time in an alternative center. Once he's done with that, he, by every legal right, he shall be returned to his home campus, and that's exactly what took place.
Now, anticipating potential issues, school officials and law enforcement implemented a special safety plan upon his return. And that essentially meant that the police department would keep close contact with the family while this student was trying to recover. Now, on May 12, 2025, the situation kind of comes to a head. Early that morning, the 13-year-old's grandmother witnessed the teen hammering a live bullet in her house. She questioned him about it, and he admitted that his mother gave him the ammunition and had even taken him shopping for tactical gear at a military supply store.
Police say the boy's grandmother reported him to law enforcement earlier in the day. According to an affidavit, she said she found him on Sunday hitting a live bullet with a hammer.
That takes brains.
I don't let him do it. That would have solved the problem.
Fucking take his balls to do that shit.
Yeah, that nip it in the bud.
He allegedly told her his mom gave him the ammunition and also bought him tactical gear.
Now, he had been intermittently staying with his grandmother due to his behavioral issues, and his mom had to work, so while she had to work, he would stay with the grandma. Now, his mom then comes and picks him up for school, and before leaving the house, he tells his grandmother that he's going to be famous for what he's about to do.
Investigators say before leaving for school, the child told his grandmother he was going to be famous.
Ashley Prado then picks up her son and drives him to the middle school. When she drops off the boy at the school, he's wearing a full tactical outfit, camouflage jacket, tactical pants, a mask with a skull-type covering, and he wants to go to class. Now, when school officials see him, they're like, hell to the no, you're not coming inside here, and then went to confront him, but by that time, he takes off. School officials lose track of his whereabouts. That triggered a scare, and the middle school went into lockdown. After the 13-year-old disappeared, his grandmother called police to report that, hey, he had some very suspicious items.
Later that morning, she alleges she searched his room, finding ammunition and an improvised explosive device.
That's IED, not IUD.
Wrapped with duct tape that referenced the 2019 New Zealand mosque shooting.
So police go over to the grandmother's house, and the grandmother allows the police to search the teen's bedroom. And when they search, they find a rifle, pistol, magazines fully loaded with live ammo, makeshift provisions, an improvised explosive device. And more disturbingly, the bomb, or the improvised explosive device, had white supremacist markings and neo-Nazi references on them. Now, the police department were able to locate the 13-year-old off campus. He was arrested and charged with terrorism, but police also arrested his mom. See, the kicker to the story is that the mom was the one who supplied the teen with the ammo, the equipment to make the bomb, and seemingly encouraged this behavior.
But when
I wish they'd bring back spanking.
What do you
Go ahead, JT.
finish?
I was about to say that's one sick bitch if she's fucking supporting that shit. and still go out of her way to fucking actually buy the shit for the kid.
Yeah.
But what do you get that mother for Mother's Day when she provides you with all that you need?
Fucking jail time.
Get her an IED.
Pretty much.
I guess.
Tell her it's an IUD.
Fucking Chuck.
And unwired.
Yeah.
Investigators questioned his mother. According to the affidavit, she did not feel concern for his behavior, later admitting she purchased her son's supplies, including ammo, in exchange for babysitting his younger siblings.
Remember, she was the one who dropped them off at school in all that tactical gear, which scared everyone to death. Now, the mom was specifically charged with aiding in the commission of terrorism, and she was bonded out on $75,000 bail. Now, this brings us to the question of parental accountability. See,
before we go on, I wonder if the mom is in a gang currently, because she looks like she was once in the gang.
You think?
Probably with all those face tattoos. Especially the one going across your throat and shit.
Yeah.
Charges against the mom represent a rare instance in which a parent may be legally implicated in the alleged domestic terrorist plot of her child. In this case, she assisted in buying tactical gear, the ammunition, despite knowing her son's violent tendencies and aspirations to become an active shooter. Now, this should remind you of the case of Jennifer and James Crumbley. These are parents of the Michigan school shooter Ethan Crumbley, and they were sentenced to 10 to 15 years for failing to prevent their son from killing 4 students at his deadly mass shooting.
Today is the day they learned their fate. The parents of school shooter Ethan Crumbley were back in court where they were sentenced for manslaughter in connection with their son's murder of 4 students at his Michigan school.
And the parallels of these cases are very, very, very eerie. For instance, in the Crumbley case in Michigan, the parents bought the gun. The parents ignored all the warning signs. The parents took him to school that morning. And in the Parado case, it's the same thing. She took him to school in the morning. He was dressed in tactical gear. She bought all the weapons and the guns. Now, the mom is facing between 5 and 99 years in prison if convicted on this charge. So, what do you think? Do you think this mom should be held responsible for her child essentially planning a mass shooting and the mom buying all the equipment to help him achieve the goal of becoming famous?
Yeah, she needs to be held responsible.
Hey guys, I just want to say we have 2 famous people in chat, Mr. Angel Gomez and Mr. Vinny.
Hey, Angel and Vinny.
Hey, Vinny, Nathan, Angel.
Thanks, Dylan.
Can't forget Down Under.
Whoa!
Happy Hippie tipped $6.90. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, hippie. Ah, man. But the mom, I bet she's still in a gang. She's got that kind of mentality.
Right, because Chuck, I'm only agreeing with you on that part because of the fact that no woman would have fucking random face tattoos like that. Wait
a minute. Now
with the throat.
You're jumping to conclusions. Now, just because she was giving her son ammunition for babysitting, shouldn't be any reason to discriminate against her.
I'm not discriminating, but if you're gonna support somebody who wants to do fucking mass shooting, there is something mentally fucking wrong.
Dylan, I was being facetious.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can't understand big words.
It's still a good point, Dylan. It's still a good point. Now,
on top of your head.
The thing is, a person may get those tattoos by the time they're 19 or 20, and then decide not to be in the gang anymore. You still got the tattoos.
Yep. It follows you around.
Yeah.
Yep. Had a celly burn off his patch with a big lighter. That's a big deltoid there too. They burn it off.
Yeah, there's that, and there's laser removal, which doesn't feel a whole lot better.
And on top of it, laser removal is just way too expensive, more than a tattoo.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, in prison they kind of frown on you asking them to bring in a laser to remove a tattoo.
Yeah.
Fucking video.
Yeah. Now, if you,
you know, JT, I was telling you, I don't understand the big words that you mentioned. As Vinny just said, he doesn't even understand diacetyl.
6-pack kit tipped $6.90. Thanks for the content.
Almost get us into
Nick.
war with the Scots.
Yeah. So, Jesse Waters wants to tell us a little bit about how bad off Joe Biden was. Here we go.
Biden world's starting to crack, and the big guys getting the whistle blown on them. Secret Service agents are coming out of the woodwork, saying behind the scenes, Joe was even worse than we thought.
This Secret Service whistleblower actually was assigned to Biden, and he told me that Biden used to get lost in his closet in the mornings in the White House. I mean, the guy literally stumbling around in the White House residence couldn't find his way out of his own closet. The president of the United States. I mean, this is outrageous.
The leader of the free world couldn't find his way out of the closet, and no one noticed. Joe was locked inside while his team was out running the country. The speaker said when he went to the White House, Biden didn't even know what he'd signed off on.
Sir, why did you pause LNG exports to Europe? Like, I don't understand, liquefied natural gas is in great demand by our allies. Why would you do that? Because you understand, we just talked about Ukraine. You understand you're fueling Vladimir Putin's war machine because they got to get the gas from him, And he looks at me stunned with this, and he said, I didn't do that. And I said, Mr. President, yes, you did. It was an executive order, 3 weeks ago. And he goes, no, I didn't do that. And he's arguing with me. He genuinely did not know what he had signed.
Joe Biden didn't even know what the Biden foreign policy was. That's how bad it was. Democrats all knew Joe's brain was fried.
There's a senator, Senator Bennett from Colorado, who went to an event in June 2024 where Biden seemed non-functioning, and he left that event, and this is in the book, thinking this is why our border policy, our immigration policy is such a mess. This guy can't manage the portfolio. There are competing groups within the administration, and he's not engaged for whatever reason, and that's why this policy is such a mess.
Did Biden even know the border was wide open? If he didn't, then who opened it? That's what the hearings will find out.
Yeah.
Bill Maher, he's wondering why Democrats even let Joe run.
If you really thought Trump was the existential threat he was, then, to your point earlier, why put up Biden? If it was really that important. I mean, Democrats will never be able to answer that question. If that election was really that important, you couldn't summon the courage to confront an old man that your time has passed?
Well, that's a good question.
Democrats knew Joe was fried back in 2020.
Yes, exactly. They needed a figurehead that wasn't going to stop them from doing what they wanted to do.
Exactly.
Yep.
And they
Why
all
do you
backed
think
him.
little Barry moved down the street from the White House?
Yeah. Yep.
Up on the campaign trail, he was forgetting the names of aides he'd worked with for 40 years. Staffers were alarmed and would whisper how the big guy wasn't 100%.
I'd hate to have AIDS for 40 years.
They thought it was a miracle that COVID happened and Joe went into the bunker. But Slick Willie swears for 4 years he didn't know a thing.
Did you ever have a moment with him where you thought maybe he was unfit to run for president? No.
I thought he was a good president. The only concern I thought he had to deal with was, could anybody do that job until they were 86? And we'd had several long talks. I had never seen him and walked away thinking he can't do this anymore. He was always on top of his brief.
You never saw any cognitive decline?
So I didn't know anything about any of this, and I haven't read the book. I saw President Biden not very long ago.
Okay, that's enough of that shit.
Obama had his chance when he was walking him off the stage that one time and didn't push him, Hey.
I just wish Obama fucking pushed him and shit like that.
Could have saved us a lot of pain.
No, I gotta agree with Hippie. Bill Clinton does look a lot better than fucking Joe Biden ever did.
Yeah.
Shit, he's looking better than Bill Clinton did.
Yeah, it's true. He must have cut McDonald's out of his diet. Hillary probably could have won if they had run her instead of Biden.
Yep.
Probably.
No, not this time.
Oh, she'd had a better show.
Not after fucking Trump called her out the last time, Chuck.
This time there was more public engaged into watching for shenanigans.
Yeah.
We did manage to raise enough ruckus for the last election that this one was under more scrutiny.
Yep, and hell, it's less than a year, and there's going to be another very important election too.
Yep.
Because if it's not above board and done right, Trump's got nothing but impeachments to deal with the rest of his time in there.
Yeah, well, we knew that though.
Oh, Marcus, that's Dylan.
No, don't get it twisted. Marcus is correct.
So here's a little story out of Florida. A guy who's a cop, he's a lieutenant in the police force, brings a woman to his house to get a little dessert. Then he finds out she's not a woman. She has a penis. And all hell breaks loose from that point. Let me make sure I'm not muted. Okay.
Wait, so he almost fucked a tranny?
Yeah. In a matter of speaking, he wasn't going to.
Wait a minute.
He beat the shit out of her.
He was deceived.
Yeah.
Dylan, what are you doing using words like that you don't know what they mean?
Yeti, shut up.
Tonight, we're also hearing from a Miami-Dade sheriff's deputy who was arrested for allegedly attacking a woman he met at a popular Miami nightclub.
A few moments later.
Represented at all times that she was a woman, when in fact she was a man, meaning that she still had male anatomy.
Suzy Rivero Ayala, Chala's attorney, says the woman lied to the officer about her gender and he wanted her out.
So this police lieutenant goes to a club, finds an attractive woman, takes her back to the house, and finds out she's not really a woman. She's got kibbles and bits.
Yeah. She's got a bussy, not a pussy.
And things go to hell. Let's talk about it.
All over meat and two veg.
Yeah. Now, here, I think, you know how if you come home early and you find your wife in bed with a guy, if you lose your mind and shoot anybody at that point, you're somewhat justified.
Crime of passion, yeah.
Yeah, I think this should also count similarly.
Well, there was something
it should
like
be
this
self-defense.
Exactly.
Yeah, there was something like that, similar to that, out in Vegas here, last year or something.
I accept that they exist.
Yeah.
But don't trick me.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's because to me that's a verbal agreement you have.
Yes, it's committing fraud.
Yeah.
This is 54-year-old Daniel Chalua. He's a Miami-Dade police lieutenant with over 30
This guy can't pronounce shit. He's a fucking lawyer.
years of experience on the force. Now, on April 28th, 2025, he goes to 11 nightclub in Miami.
My soul.
Now, while at the nightclub, he meets a beautiful young woman that is okay with going back to his home. So Lieutenant Chala believes that he has hit the jackpot and he's going to go home and start clapping cheeks.
Chala met a woman at the bar. They began to converse. She told police she said she was leaving when he asked her to come to his place because, quote, he lives alone. That when they arrived to the apartment, things began to get intimate. The victim tells police things took a turn when Chala began to choke her. She says she asked him to stop and that she was able to get away.
So Chala is at home with what he believes to be a woman. They start kissing and hugging, it sounds like, and he hits the kibbles in bits and finds out, whoa, she's not a woman.
Happy Hippie tipped $3.33. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Hippie.
Identifies as a woman. That's a big difference.
Represented at all times that she was a woman, when in fact she was a man, meaning that she still had male anatomy.
Suzy Rivero Ayala, Chala's attorney, says the woman lied to the officer about her gender and he wanted her out.
So
there you go.
Obviously, Chala is in shock at the moment when he finds out his date wasn't really a woman, but just identifying as a woman, and got pretty upset. The transgender woman.
I got a question.
Yeah, man.
Are you sure this isn't about penis envy?
No, I'm not sure.
And then called police, claiming that Chala assaulted her. Check it out.
We just met. We came back to my place of residence.
Okay.
And that's it.
And what happened inside?
Nothing.
So you guys didn't argue?
We didn't argue.
You just stated that you
just
did.
kicked her out.
This is the moment Daniel Chala, Miami-Dade County deputy of more than 30 years, is questioned by police at his apartment after a night out at 11.
Why did you kick her out?
Because I didn't care for her.
Why didn't you care for her?
Because I didn't like her.
Okay. Did something happen inside that made...
This guy's trying really hard not to sound like a transphobe, but I'll tell you what, I would go ahead and sound transphobic in that case.
That's not
yeah, but he cuts a nice image in the well-tailored shirt there.
Yeah, well, that's true, Jim. I totally agree with you. That's why, the Democrats or the liberal-minded people are going to say he's transphobic just because he didn't want to do that. But most men don't want to do that. It's natural.
If I wanted to do that, I would go other places.
Exactly.
Made you not like her, or that made you take her off?
Whatsoever.
Chala denies being violent to his guest. The records show he went home with a woman who accused him of wrapping his arm around her neck tightly and refusing to let her go. The woman, who eventually ran out to get help, records show was seen by witnesses bleeding from the mouth and with marks.
You guys are like...
That's really it right there. So, that's to me, that's like, it's a verbal contract, and it's not the same as on paper, but you gotta see what this did to his brain.
That completely fucked up his brain completely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of trans women get killed in situations like that.
Yeah.
That's just scary. They've got to understand there is a difference. They can't just go saying, I'm a woman. What you say is, I identify as a woman.
But also on top of that too, Chuck, the last 5 years has done such a mental screw job on everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're not saying it as much as they had been, but for a while they were saying, if you don't want to have sex with a trans woman, you're a transphobe. That's just not fucking true.
That's a lie. I don't want to have sex with a ditzy blonde. That's not my type.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what? I have a type, and it's not just penis. It's, there's certain things I like, certain things I don't.
It's like driving up to an old-fashioned gas station with a Tesla. It's not going to work.
Yeah, some things just don't work. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they would call me transphobic, but I would say exactly what was wrong. That poor guy, he's a cop. He's trying to keep his sanity while describing why it wasn't going to work for him.
Oh, yeah.
That poor guy.
He's going, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Somebody's going to find out about this. I work with the motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah, and his face is all over everywhere now. That's fucked up. I hope he doesn't lose his job. I hope it doesn't affect his work. Because he's put in 30 years there. He's got retirement. He's got...
Yeah, but that shows bad judgment.
Yeah, it can come across that way. And I wish it would.
Now, seniority doesn't cover that.
No. Nope. Y'all want to hear about ICE raids a nightclub operated entirely by migrants?
No.
Hang on.
ICE raid.
Hang on, I got to make sure it's not muted. Good.
ICE raids underground nightclub, making over 30 arrests. What's this about?
At noon 11, a Homeland Security investigation bust in Los Angeles. According to a post on X, 36 Chinese and Taiwanese nationals were arrested for being illegally present in the United States. Video shows them here detained, handcuffed, and being loaded onto vans. No word on the exact location. According to the post, the arrests were made during an enforcement operation in an underground nightclub with the cooperation of various federal agencies.
So 36 people, all at an underground club, which isn't even a real business, doing things illegally while being in the country illegally. And not only does this go against the idea that these are just hard-working immigrants who've come to America illegally to improve our country in some capacity, whatever was going on in this club probably has a lot in common with the Colorado nightclub bust from a few weeks ago, which we're now learning some very alarming information about.
So to back up, during the Biden administration, they received 170 911 calls to that club alone.
That's crazy.
Club we were just watching, 170 calls. Wouldn't you think that would have been a red flag? Nothing happened. Guns, shootings, ag robberies, nothing happened. So under Donald Trump, DEA, FBI, U.S. Marshals, ATF, ICE.
I'll tell you what, since they didn't get to see it, I just now remembered to push go and stuff. Let's just go. Let's just have the joke of the day and call it a night. My brain's off.
Yeah, Chuck's tired.
Damn it, Dylan.
Let's see. Joke of the day.
No, you didn't.
Let's see. This 80-year-old woman. She gets a letter from the IRS. She's being audited. She goes into the office and she sits down. And the auditor says, "Ma'am, you've got way too many cash deposits to your account with no reported income." She goes, "Oh, Sonny, I can explain that." She goes, "I make my living by making bets." He goes, "Ma'am, that's a lot of money for just making bets." He goes, "What do you bet on?" She goes, "For instance, I bet you $10,000 you got square balls." He looks at her and says, "Ma'am, you're just plain daft." He goes, "I can prove that right now." She goes, No. She goes, "I want to make it official." She says, "By end of business Friday, set up an appointment. I'll bring my lawyer, and I bet you $10,000 you got square balls." Friday comes. She goes, shows up. She's got her lawyer in tow. And he goes, "All right, let's get this over with." She reaches down into his pants and she grabs him by the balls. She squeezes him, rolls him around. He goes, "Ha, told you that was a stupid bet." He goes, "Why is your lawyer crying?" He goes, "Because I bet him $100,000 I'd have the IRS man by the balls by end of business Friday."
It's okay, Dylan. One of these days you'll understand.
JT, you shut your mouth.
Oh, man. Let me get the link here for Zoom. Copy link to clipboard. Put it in chat. Join us. Unlock the room. Yeah, everybody, thanks for being here this week. Sorry about the mistakes. Anybody who wants to can join us in Zoom now. The room is open. Thanks a lot, and y'all have a good night.
God bless. Hey, prayer for America.
Don't be a dick.
Stay classy.
Everybody, thanks for being here this week. Sorry about the mistakes. Anybody who wants to join us in Zoom now, the room is open.